You are about to view the end of a running record. The teacher will be calculating the rate and fluency.
How about you? I cuz you
Casually.
asked. Already ate, he answered, just as casually. He lied to me, and I lied to him. Ever since Dad lost his job and the money dried up, he lied and kept secrets. The face aid helps us make it easier for each other. Fortunately, I told another one. Dad, Anthony asked me to stay over again. Okay? No opportunity to sleep in a bed. Go for it.
After listening to the student read, it took them 3 minutes and 8 seconds to read the entire passage. This would be a total of 183 seconds. And to get the reading rate, you would take the 13,560 divided by the 183 seconds to get 70 words per minute. For fluency score, you would look at the fluency scoring key. And I like to start with the number 3, the highest level, and from there decide if she fits that or does not fit that category. Reads primarily in larger, meaningful phrases or word groups. I know she doesn't fit that category. It was choppier. Reads primarily in 3 or 4 word phrases, groups, some smooth, expressive interpretation and pausing guided by author's meaning and punctuation. Mostly appropriate stress and rate with some slowdowns. I would say she's lower than that because of the slowdowns. It was mainly word by word instead of 3 to 4 word phrases. Reads primarily in 2 word phrases with some 3 and 4 word groups and some word by word reading. Almost no smooth expressive interpretation or pausing guided by author's meaning and punctuation. Almost no stress or inappropriate stress, with slow rate most of the time. I would mark her as having a 1 in fluency scoring because of the 2 phrases with some 3 and 4 words. She does read with some expressive interpretation. And there are some word by word reading, and there's almost no smooth parts. After scoring fluency and reading rate on the running record, I would then go on to use the multi-dimensional fluency scale to help with teaching points for the next time I read with the student. I would first look at expression and volume. And once again, I would start with the highest level and work my way up until I found a spot that worked well for her. Reads with good expression and enthusiasm. I would go ahead and say that's not where she was at. Makes text sound like natural language. She was very choppy, so natural. I can go ahead and mark number 3 off because of natural language. Begins to use voice to make text sound like natural language. She was trying to sound like natural language. It still was quite choppy, but was trying. so, but not in others would help there. Focus remains largely on pronouncing the word, and I would say she still is focused mainly on that. So I would mark her as a level 2. Then I can go on to phrasing and do the same thing. Generally reads with good phrasing. I know she's not quite there yet. Reads with a mixture of run-ons, mid-sentence pauses for breath, and some choppiness. That might be what I want, but I'm going to go on to number 2 to see if this makes more sense. Frequently reads in 2 and 3 word phrases, giving the impression of choppy reading. Improper stress and intonation fail to mark ends of sentences and clauses. This one would be hard. It would be between a 2 and a 3, but I would go ahead and mark a 2 just so I know she's in between there, and I would work on both things from there. Smoothness, I would go ahead and do the same thing, and I would mark my reader after reading at a level 2. She does have several rough spots in the text where extended pauses or hesitations are more frequent and disruptive. And then pace, consistently reads at conversational pace. It was not conversational pace. Reads with uneven mixture of fast and slow. She doesn't quite have the mixture. She has more slow pace than fast, and then reads moderately slow. I would mark her there. And number 1, reads slowly and laboriously. I would say she's beyond that, but reads moderately slow. After giving the multidimensional scale, I can score it, giving her an 8, which helps me then to go on and know what to work on during the next reading lesson to see where she needs to go to get to the next number in the fluency scale.